Everyone, welcome to the end of another great day for Nvidia stock. This stock today is up by about 3% when we look at the charts. We've seen a straight up climb today with not really much downside at all. The stock started off on about $475 and finished in the end of the day at about $483, representing again a gain of around 3%. Now, Nvidia stock in the past year or so has been absolutely killing it. Most people will know this at the moment, but this stock started the year well below $200, and now we're looking at a potential break to 500 or more. Now, this is a very interesting period and definitely one to watch in my opinion for Nvidia stock, because what I will say is, if you look at the trend really since about, well, the 7th of July, that's the date that stands out, we start to see Nvidia stock stabilize a little bit, and you'll see that from that point we started to even drop. And the question is now what happens, because we've seen Nvidia stock bounce off those lows of about $400 consistently. The question is, are we going to now be able to break above $500, or is this going to be another sort of fake breakout where the stock trends between $400 and $500? Now, this is of course the million-dollar question, to put it very simply. What I would say is, when it comes to Nvidia, I'm looking a lot more at the general market, because the S&P 500 has seen a very similar trend to Nvidia today. The past 5 days, you could argue that this is mirrored a little bit also, but Nvidia is slightly outperforming the market for this time period. Now again, in the past year or so, we are seeing the markets sort of climb, and from this point around July, where Nvidia started to stabilize, this is where the market started to decline. But of course, as a lot of people will be, when a stock has climbed 200% roughly in the past year, people are going to be wondering, well, what comes next? Is there any more potential room for the stock to even run, or are we going to be seeing the end of a trend? Well, what I would say is, I think it all depends really on the market and how the market moves. If I was looking for a long-term investment in Nvidia, I don't personally think I'd be making it now. The reason for that is because even if we were to see breaks above really $500, how much more upside can we see? I mean, from the current price moving up to about $500, that'd be roughly a 13 or 14% gain, I believe, which is of course substantial, but I mean, what more are we going to see from there? Now, I think Nvidia is a good company. However, where the market is right now, we're seeing a lot of instability. Yes, today's been a great day, but again, the past 5 days, we've been asking the question a lot, is this trend going to continue, or are we going to see a further decline in the market? Again, things are starting to stabilize now, but what I'd say is, if I was looking to get into Nvidia, it'd probably be for a short to mid-term swing trade. I'd be looking for this one for a potential high around $500, a potential low around $400. I think that's just the channels that we've been looking at for Nvidia in the past couple of months. Now, whilst I don't think Nvidia is a bad company, I think it's actually quite a decent company. When a stock has risen this much, again, we have to acknowledge the fact that the people who made money bought in around this area of the chart. The upside since has been fairly limited, and especially with the instability that we've seen recently, and especially when we zoom out to the past year chart, you will see this trend between 400 and 500. We've been seeing this basically since May, and obviously we're towards the high of that now. It's looking good, but until we break above 500 and stay above it, I'm not that interested in Nvidia stock. As depending on how things move in the market, we could potentially see this one drop down to $400 again. So long term, I'm not too sure about Nvidia. I think the company's got potential. Again, will investors feel that? I think that's going to determine the long-term share price. But in the short term, I would definitely say a potential trade up to 500 if your capital allows for it is what I would personally be looking for. And again, that's just my opinion. I am not a professional. And again, on the downside, potentially looking to buy in around $400 roughly. So that's my opinion. Thank you for watching this short video, as I wanted to discuss today's move in Nvidia. Very interesting again. I'm looking at the wider market trend for this one to see where we could be going, as Nvidia is one of those stocks which does seem to like to follow the market trend as a whole. So, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, of course, make sure to like and subscribe. And I do hope that I'll see you again in our next video. So, see you soon. Goodbye for now.